Bienvenue, gentle viewer and not so gentle viewer. This is another episode of On Stuff with Jeff, where I'm Jeff and I talk about my stuff. A week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks, Chromium Dioxide Radio, which is a sometimes crude but really sincere and entertaining kind of heavy metal fan and puppet show type of thing. They did a video kind of showing his love for Dungeons and Dragons and a lot of somewhat related heavy metal vinyls. I thought my brain, and I decided I'm going to do something similar where I kind of explore some extreme metal albums and kind of interpret how you could use them in, just in basic terms, how you could turn them into something you could use for playing Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, it's heavy metal. That makes perfect sense. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay, before we start, just a little reminder to, head on over to Chromium Dioxide Radio, subscribe to his channel, give some of his videos a like. In fact, every heavy metal YouTuber, you should like their videos. Every like puts a video higher in rotation, so more people are more likely to see it. And the more heavy metal videos from heavy metal fans that go into higher in rotation, the more people see it, and the more people learn the honest truth about heavy metal. So it's good for everybody. So do that. Cool puppets. And dioramas are pretty cool too on his channel. I don't have dioramas. I just have a backdrop, a couple spaceships. Okay, so let's start with this one. This is an easy one. Summoning, minus Morgul. I could have used any of their albums, but I really like Passing of the Great Company because that's pretty much one of my favorite songs. So that's why I chose this one. Could have chosen any of them. Summoning is a band that's heavily inspired by Tolkien. Dungeons and Dragons is heavily inspired by Tolkien. They have dwarves in D&D. Tolkien invented dwarves. Dwarves weren't something like mystical. The idea of mystical dwarves, they didn't exist really before. And this has a lot of great songs on it. Obviously, I really like Summoning, so I'd say that. Lugbers is home of the Mordor orcs. A nasty place. The Passing of the Great Company. That's about the king under the mountain. Being summoned by Aragorn to fight the forces of evil at the fields of Pelennor and, to redeem themselves. Now, you could adapt that, maybe your characters made a mistake or, things didn't go the right way and, the whole party died. And, but you were given an opportunity by a god or gods or like somebody to regain your mortality, to resurrect, go on a resurrection quest for yourselves, and you could do do good deeds, maybe redeem somebody in hell or the abyss. Find somebody lost in the any number of the other planes. I mean, this could be the start of some sort of planescape adventure. I don't know. There's Ungoliant. Ungoliant. She's a giant demon spider from the dawn of time. I mean, it's you can't really go wrong with that. That's something you could build an adventure on. Maybe this thing is coming back. Maybe this thing is here, and you've got to do something to restrain it, or banish it, or kill it, whatever. And of course, all the Middle Earth battle songs about Dagor Bragollach and stuff like that. Okay, moving on. This is a great Canadian black metal band, Akitsa. Credo. This is I think it's one of the most recent ones. It's really good. I like it quite a lot. And there's a lot of great songs here, but one that really calls out to me in this case is Voix Cataclysmique. It's about learning little signs, importance about some horrible disaster that's coming. Maybe something's going to come out of the sky, or God's going to come back, whatever. And your characters have to find a way to stop this from happening. That's pretty simple, right there. So when something bad's coming, you got to stop them. Here we go. Here's another one. This is one, I guess it's kind of similar to what I just talked about. This album isn't similar. This is like very raw, cold, like primitive, punky, thrashy black metal in the old ways. Blasphemy, Fallen Angel of Doom, one of 2 full lengths that they brought out. They've put out a whole bunch of live CDs as well. This is a remaster or a re-release. The title track is probably the best example for this. Fallen Angel of Doom. Bad things are happening, and it's clear that it's a sign of the apocalypse. And no one believes you for some reason, and you have to go out and try to convince everybody. That's another great song. That could be used for Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, I suppose both of them are pretty similar, but I just like, I don't know. Maybe I'll do another video like this. Maybe I'll do it for Vampire the Masquerade or something. Pull out all my old Doom and goth albums. Here we go. These guys, another one. Immortal. Battles in the North. You know it, you love it, and it's all about fighting. Battles in the North. At the stormy gates of mist, through the halls of eternity, moonrise fields of sorrow, cursed realms of the winter demons, throned by the black storm. There's so much good stuff. Like I take forever to go. There's circling above in time before time. There's so much good stuff on here, and it's again, I mean, just looking at the cover, you could be you could be a bard that paints your face like that, and you're maybe you have some, I don't know. It's about fighting. Again, I'm not trying to review the albums. I'm just kind of like trying to use them to inspire people for adventures, and maybe get people to be inspired to make the jump to heavy metal as well. Here's another Canadian band, Harrow. Unfortunately, they're gone. They went extinct a few years ago, but you can find a lot of stuff on Bandcamp. I think even one of their albums is free to download on Bandcamp. This one is Fragments of a Fallen Star. Again, this band is often blackened doom folk, sometimes just doom folk. This album is more on the blackened side, although it does start to have, again, the doom folk element, a lot of acoustics. Anyway, I'm not trying not to review these albums. I don't want to take too long. Fragments of a Fallen Star, the title track, is about a woman who summons you into her wooden tent, wooden fort, whatever, and gives you a vision of doom to come, some giant demon snake or something, and you have to decide what you're going to do. And there you go. There's another one that maybe that's a little specific. But again, that's a song about trying to stop an apocalypse. Your characters go on a quest. when they hear this lady says things are going to happen, maybe you'll aid. Maybe if you're playing bad guys, you'll do that. I don't know. Or maybe you're going to try and stop it. Another one, the Song of Seasons is, four types of elements: winter, um, spring, summer, and fall. That's another great song. There you go. Fragments of a Fallen Star, Harrow. And here's another one, another Canadian band from Gaspagawagi territory, Migma. Let's see, another. This is again black metal. He runs a gambit. He's done a few different types of black metal. Primitive black metal, like straight black metal. Somewhat. Sometimes he does atmospheric, little bit of atmospheric black metal. But I can't wait to see what he's done. He's done a whole bunch of albums. I chose this one because I like the idea of the first two songs. It's the album is Wastau into Sortilege Winter. Ifranak. This particular album is a combination of Wastau EP and some songs from a split that he did with another band, and I think a couple of standalone songs. So from Wastau, the first two tracks, Keswick, Dethroned King of the Northeastern Woodlands, and Glooscap, Lord of Beasts and Human Beings, which I love. So I loved learning about Glooscap. I learned about him in high school, in elementary school in Nova Scotia. Glooscap is the Migma mythical demigod hero. Who is credited with doing creating lots of things, like there's one version of the story. There's one story where he created the islands by scooping up land out of the Atlantic Ocean, and poof, there's Prince Edward Island and Cape Breton and the Gaspé Peninsula and stuff like that. But he also fought evil wizards and stuff sorcerers and stuff like that. But we'll first talk about Keswick, dethroned god of the northeastern woodlands. That one is a guy who he's a king. He's a dethroned king of the northwestern woodlands, and his land is going cold, and he's freezing over, and he lays down, and he wakes up in the arms of a warm lady from the warm southern lands, and basically goes back and becomes a hero. So that's an idea. Maybe maybe you're trying to help the king regain the lands, or maybe the king is the wrong one, and you're trying to liberate the lands that have been mystically or divinely or infernally frozen over. And maybe your characters will have to go to a far southern land, beyond what everybody has seen, to find the magic item, or to communicate with the god, or find some old wizard or somebody who can give you info. And of course, Glooscap, Lord of Beasts and Human Beings. Maybe you're helping Glooscap. Maybe somebody should make Glooscap as a god that you can have a priesthood based on. That would be super cool. Doing heroic things, creating creation, stuff like that. Defense, smiting. I don't know. A paladin of Glooscap would be awesome. Let's see, Possessed by an Old Spirit. That one is from the Split. I just can't remember the band that he did the Split with. That's about a guy who has a ghost. He's possessed. So basically, you could create a character who shares his body with a ghost. Maybe the ghost is bad. Maybe the ghost is good. But your character story is to find a way to get rid of the ghost, like remove the ghost from your body. However way you decide to do that. That would be cool. There you go. Infernac. Here's a classic which I just acquired not too long ago. Pagan Altar, Judgment of the Dead. A classic doom band from England, Angleterre, jolly old. Like again, Pagan Altar. You know, you walk into a dungeon to find an altar. You know there you go. That's pretty simple. In the wake of Armadius, which is supposed to be Asmodeus, the king of hell. And if you've played Dungeons and Dragons, chances are you've heard of Asmodeus, the king of the nine hells, and maybe you fought him. I don't know, but there you go. That's a great song. You know, to inspire you to create an adventure to go after him. Let's see. Where's it? Judgment of the Dead. This song is more a political statement than anything, but maybe maybe there's a group of people who are killed, or left behind, or left to die, or something went wrong, and they're possessed by they're seeking revenge on the village or a family or the kingdom or whatever, community, something, and your characters have to find a way to either, maybe there's no saving these lost souls. Maybe the people were really bad, and so you want to help the lost souls, get revenge. Maybe you want to try to redeem the people. Maybe you want, there's any number of ways that you could turn this into an adventure. And there's a song called Reincarnation. There you go. Resurrection. Here we go. Onto the vinyl. Transylvanian Hunger by Darkzone. Classic old Norwegian black metal. Again, Transylvanian Hunger. That's the first song on the album. That song's about being Dracula, Count Dracula. I mean, you could do an adventure in Ravenloft. Obviously, Ravenloft, land of the undead and all the horror elements of Dungeons and Dragons. Again, you want to stop the morbid count, I guess. Let's see. Where is it? Let's see. As Flitimice to Satan's spies. There you go. You're trying to stop the again, just the title itself. Maybe there's little Flitimice flying around, little, and they're spying on people. Come on, it's Darkzone. There's lots of cool stuff on here. Okay, here we go. Here's another no-brainer. Edge of Sanity Crimson. This is the 2-record set from Black Mark. Like melodic death metal. Little proggy too. This album is about, both albums are about humanity on the edge of extinction due to not able to produce any live births. And so they create this clone, and with the idea that she will be able to bear children, but things don't go as planned. And there you go. That's you don't have to have the science fiction elements. Just maybe somebody, the family, the royal family, is desperate for continuing their family line for whatever reason. It could be the next people in, maybe the line of ascension is the next person is like a really bad person, and they're willing to do anything, obviously, and maybe they create some mystic person. They do something they shouldn't, play with powers they shouldn't, and create this thing that at first seems like a nice girl, but things go wrong, and you have to find a way to undo it. Yeah, I mean, again, this whole album is like a adventure. And of course, things go even worse in the second album. And of course, in the night side, Eclipse Emperor. I mean, there's great songs that are great ideas for adventures, but I chose this because a friend of mine who's gone on to be a game designer, who I've mentioned before, one of the last campaigns that he ran for us, it wasn't Dungeons and Dragons, it was his homebrew. He created, basically, he wanted to create a mythical role-playing game where it wasn't just Eurocentric. You could come up with anything. And this campaign he came up with was based on I Am the Black Wizards. And, the song, I Am the Black Wizards, is about a wizard who amasses power by linking himself to all the other wizards so he could eventually, rule everything. But with what Eric did, my friend, he created a world where somebody started out as a very troubled individual, sought immortality and organized a bunch of I think they started out as wizards, but basically, they were wizards, cultists going around killing people. And my Yoruba champion of Isu helped defeat this guy and redeem him in the end, if I'm not sure. Although I was so tired while we were playing it, I said that my character goes, because I missed most of the conversations between the characters at the end of the adventure, and I went downstairs when the whole building was on fire and beat him to death. Because I thought, that they gave me a mulligan on that because I was pretty much falling asleep at the table. And we eventually redeem him, and everything stops, and I become marry a woman from Greece and become king of Athens. A little Yoruba guy becomes king of Athens. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about my character. Well, maybe I am a little. Into the Infinity of Shadows, into the Infinity of Thought, is a song about a guy dreaming about being a warlord with the dark sword raised high in warfare, and so that's a great idea. A Majesty of the Night Sky, despite as being an awesome song and an awesome song title, also somebody who is seeking power, to become one with the night sky, that could be a character idea. Maybe the character is going in the wrong direction. Beyond the great vast forest, again, you wander around through vast forests and Dungeons and Dragons. So, yeah, again, great album. Lots of cool ideas for stuff. And oh wow, that's it. I went through them all. Well, there you go. Bunch of albums. That you could use to inspire yourself for D&D adventures, and maybe you'll listen to them. I hope you do. It's a lot of fun. I haven't played any tabletop role playing for quite a long time, and I do miss it. Even though I bought the most recent version of Dungeons and Dragons, I haven't played it at all. So so play some D&D. Let's see what I rolled a 10. Thanks a lot, guys. Metal game read. Oh, and every child matters.